Hello guys, thanks for joining me again in the part 4th of the series of lectures on Smile, Triogen and 6 key food consciousness, and the title of this webinar is testing of Triogen models, testing of Triogen food models on various international medical journals. And I thank you all for joining me live on Facebook, and thank you. So what is Triogen, this video is about is, we will be discussing something great now. First of all, the theory of the Triogen was this, the Triogen food consciousness. This is about the spirits, the Triogen model of different types of food. And it says is that the food which comes from the zero world is the food which comes from the zero world is the neutral food, and you should take this food more and more. And the food extorted from the other species with heterospirit should not be taken. And the heterospirit is the killing spirit, and the food artificially made with homo spirit for earning profit should not be taken. But the food which grows in the nature naturally under God's spirit should be taken more and more. So you should concentrate. If somebody is taking a lot of vitamin D of sunlight, and he's not at all taking any animal foods like meat, eggs, fish, and dairy products, not taking any industrial refined, processed, and the preserved food, and taking more and more vegetables, lentils, beans, fruits, cereals, raw or mildly cooked, that person will be following the Smile, Triogen food consciousness, the WFPB, whole food plant-based diet, and he will become immortal, live more than 100 years, and will not suffer from any of the diseases. This is the hypothesis and assumption which has been given in by Dr. Pawan Madhavan, that it should happen, that if somebody is taking these two foods more and more, these two foods more and more, and is not taking this food not at all, zero, absolute zero, and not taking this food at all, that person should not suffer from any disease. This is the hypothesis which is being given by Dr. Pawan in Triogen food consciousness. But does it really fits? Let us test this hypothesis on various international medical journals, right? Let us test it on various international medical journals. Okay, so let us test the theory of Triogen according to various international medical journals. Right. We have neutral food, the vitamin D of sunshine. The sun is the source of the solar system. The sun is the god of solar system. Right? American Journal of Public Health, February 2006 issue. American Journal of Public Health. This below is the American Journal of Public Health 2006 issue, has proved that high levels of vitamin D are associated with lesser chances of getting cancer due to its immunomodulatory function. So in this journal, the role of vitamin D in cancer prevention, American Journal of Public Health, the majority of studies found a protective relationship between sufficient vitamin D status and lower risk. The evidence suggests that efforts to improve vitamin D status could reduce the incidence of cancer and mortality at low cost with few or no adverse effects. So vitamin D prevents cancer, it has been proven now. Let's move down, guys. The Georgetown University released an article in 2016 which proved that sunlight energizes the infection-fighting T cells of the human body. This is the article, that vitamin D and the immune system by Georgetown University. Sunlight offers surprise benefit. It energizes infection-fighting T cells. So it improves, vitamin D improves your immune system. This has been proved by international medical journals. So my hypothesis is that because vitamin D is the food from the zero world directly coming from the God, so it will help and prevent all the diseases, and it can cure itself all the diseases. This was the hypothesis, and I am going to prove to you right now from various international medical journals. Right. So let's move more. Immunology and Allergy Clinic of North America in August 2010 proved that high levels of vitamin D is associated with low occurrence of allergic diseases, atopic dermatitis, and asthma. If your vitamin D level is more than 100, you will not have any asthma, you will not have any allergic dermatitis, you will not have any atopic diseases. This has been proved by Immunology and the Allergy Clinic, which is one of the renowned medical journals of North America. Vitamin D in allergies and asthma. This journal has proved that it appears that there is a relationship between low levels of vitamin D and the occurrence of allergic disease, which means if you increase your vitamin D level, your allergic disease will be cured. And patients with vitamin D deficiency were more likely to report atopic dermatitis. So if you have low vitamin D level, you will have atopic dermatitis, you will have allergic dermatitis, and you will have asthma. This has been proved by this international medical journal. And if you look at it, this medical journal is one of the renowned medical journal, and immune allergic disease of clinics of North America, right? Immunology and Allergic Clinic of North America in August 2010, it wrote. Around 11 international medical trials have proved that low levels of vitamin D is associated with higher chances of becoming diabetic. Why? Because a low sun exposure causes low vitamin D, who is the controller of the immune system, who disciplines the immune system. Remember, vitamin D is from zero world, and immune system is also like one of the hidden factors. And once your vitamin D, once sun comes to the body, sunlight comes to the body, immune system improves dramatically. So impaired immune system causes beta cell dysfunction and systemic inflammation in the body, because immune system is impaired, and which causes the low insulin production and insulin resistance in the body, which leads to diabetes. So if you're not exposing yourself to sun, there are more chances that you will become diabetes. This is not me saying, but 11 international medical journals have proved. These are those landmark trials which have linked vitamin D deficiency to diabetes. These are various studies. You can read them from this video, and then you can go to the internet and check these studies. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 studies, which are all renowned. Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism, Diabetes Education Journal, Diabetes, Obesity and Metabolism Journal. All these are big journals, and these studies are well available on the internet. You can just look at this PowerPoint and then go to the internet and check these studies. We will move further. The Journal of Current Medical Chemistry proved in 2008 that prevalence of multiple sclerosis increases as we move far off from the equator. That is, the exposure to sunlight is protective against multiple sclerosis. So this is the journal, and they have proved that therapeutic potential of vitamin D for multiple sclerosis, that vitamin D prevents as well as cures multiple sclerosis. This is not me saying, various international medical journals are saying. Journal of Current Vascular Surgery in 2009 issued a statement that vitamin D has got anti-atherosclerotic effect, that it offers protection against heart diseases. Vitamin D and the cardiovascular diseases. Look at it. They have proved that the vitamin D has a potential anti-atherosclerotic effect. Wow. Now in this video, in this recording now, I have proved to you that vitamin D is like God for us, and you all should go out into the sun and take vitamin D more and more. Let us now test the international medical journals for hetero foods. These foods, as I have told you, should not be taken at all. But is the hypothesis of Triorigin true? And has it been proved in international medical journals? Let's see this. This journal, the Annals of Epidemiology Journal 2001, has shown that incidence of liver and pancreatic cancer is very high in poultry workers due to their overexposure to oncogenic viruses found in overcrowded and unsanitized poultry farms. What happens is actually that these poultry workers actually are working in overcrowded conditions where a lot of chickens and lambs are there in small place, and they are all overcrowded because of that. So they are all overcrowded, and there are a lot of viruses with these poultry chickens, and this because of crowded conditions, a lot of unhygienic conditions, there are a lot of viruses. And once you are working in those, you are a worker in that unhygienic conditions, you are exposed to more and more of those viruses. And because of that, various international medical journals, including this Annals of Epidemiology, found that incidence of liver and pancreatic cancer was very high among poultry workers. My God, incidence of cancer in poultry workers. This journal has proved that exposure to poultry oncogenic viruses may possibly be associated with the occurrence of liver and pancreatic cancers. So they found in this study that incidence of cancer was very high, especially of liver and pancreatic cancers was very high in poultry workers, because they are what they are killing, because all of them are involved in abusing of those chickens and lambs and animals, and they are causing they must be killing them. So this is the heterospirit, which is then leading to their death. This is not me saying, this is the international medical journals. The world's renowned journal Lancet issue of November 2015 posted in its oncology section that meat consumption is probably carcinogenic to humans. My God, Lancet has issued a statement in 2015 that meat consumption is probably carcinogenic to humans. My God, meat and the cancer risk. The Lancet has clearly proved that carcinogenicity of consumption of red and processed meat. So they have proved in this journal that overall the world leading group classified consumption of processed meat as carcinogenic to humans. So processed meat is definitely carcinogenic to humans. So you should not be taking any processed meat, right? They have labeled red meat as probably carcinogenic to humans. Processed meat is definitely carcinogenic, but red meat is probably carcinogenic, right? So you should not be taking at all any kind of processed or red meat, because they are carcinogenic. And this is not me saying, this is world's renowned journal Lancet has proved. You can go to internet and read this full international medical journal. EPIC study, the European prospective investigation into the cancer and the nutrition. The EPIC study done in 2000 has proved that poultry consumption is associated with very high incidence of cancer. That poultry consumption is associated with very high incidence of cancer. EPIC study proved that cancer is strongly linked to poultry consumption. The EPIC study found that increased between 56% and 280% for every 50 grams of poultry consumed daily, which means if you are eating chicken, you are probably going to die of cancers at any cost. American Journal of Clinical Nutrition conducted 2 studies in 2010 and 2015, both of which showed a higher incidence as well as progression of prostate cancer to be associated with higher consumption of meat, dairy, fish, and eggs. These are the 2 international medical journals, and the name has been American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, and these studies are available on the internet. You can go and check them. That dairy products, calcium, and prostate cancer risk, systematic review and meta-analysis of cohort studies, and this study of intake of meat, fish, poultry, and eggs and risk of prostate cancer progression. Right? Intake of meat, fish, poultry, eggs, and risk of prostate cancer progression. And you can check them there on the internet, that hetero cancer and the hetero food and the cancer risk. These 2 journal studies have proved that there is higher incidence as well as progression of prostate cancer when you are eating more meat, dairy, fish, and eggs. American Journal of Epidemiology issued a statement in 2007 that accumulating evidence from many studies supports a positive association between dairy consumption and risk of Parkinson's disease, particularly in men, which means taking more and more milk causes Parkinson's disease, because hetero food invites the homo disease in the body, dairy products, and the risk of Parkinson's disease. In summary, in this journal, they prove that accumulating evidence from this and previous prospective studies supports a positive association between dairy consumption and risk of Parkinson's disease, particularly in men. In 1907, the New York Times front page published an article on its front page that cancer increases among meat eaters. So in 1907, whole world was knowing that cancer is more in meat eaters. But then this meat industry came into picture and showed some misleading studies, because of which the world is still today eating more and more meat. But in 1907, the New York Times published an article on its front page that cancer increases among meat eaters. This is the New York Times, Tuesday, December 24, 1907. Cancer increases among meat eaters. Wow. On the other hand, Italians and Chinese, practically vegetarians, show the lowest mortality of all. This was proved in 1907, my God. A meta-analysis is published in Diabetes Care Journal 1998 has proved that daily intake of fish oil has no protective effect on the hyperglycemia in type 2 diabetes as previously assumed. So there's no Diabetes Care Journal, which is the biggest journal on diabetes, has proved that some of the doctors think that giving fish oil, which is high in omega-3 fatty acids, has got good effect on diabetes. But Diabetes Journal has proved that fish oil is not at all useful for diabetes. A study done by Journal of Atlanta in 2010 showed that even the best qualities of fish oil are heavily contaminated by toxic organochlorines, that is pesticides. So no matter how good fish you are taking, how much better fish oil you are taking, it is always and always contaminated by pesticides in the river. So this was the Atlanta Journal, Multi-Residue Determination of Organochlorines in Fish Oil by GCMS, a new strategy in the sample preparation. And they proved that all the milk, all the fish oil supplements are contaminated with pesticides. A study done by Donkonawa NV in 2005 showed that there are heavy residues of antibiotics in poultry eggs due to the overuse of antibiotics in overcrowded and dirty poultry farms in order to save chickens from infection. The truth about eggs, the antibiotic exposures, residues of tetracyclines in poultry meat, and eggs due to use of antibiotics. Donkonawa and B have proved this study. Milk. The New England Journal of Medicine published a big study in 1992 which stated that bovine albumin, which is the casein protein, the casein protein found in the milk. Bovine albumin is the casein, C-A-S-E-I-N, casein protein, C-A-S-E-I-N. Casein protein is this bovine albumin, right? So the New England Journal of Medicine in 1992 proved that bovine albumin present in the milk is the possible cause of type 1 diabetes in the children. And this I have proved to you yesterday, right? Journal of Proceedings of Nutritional Society in 2000 also proved that consumption of milk is linked to the development of autoimmune diabetes. So Proceedings of Nutritional Society in November 2000, they also cow's milk and the immune-mediated diabetes. So it is proven in the medical journals that milk is one of the major culprits in causation of diabetes. The Nelson's textbook of pediatrics, which is the Bible of pediatrics, it states that early introduction of cow's milk to an infant is linked to higher incidence of type 1 diabetes in children. So if you are not giving your 1-year-old child from birth to 1 year, if you are not giving mother's milk, but you are giving cow's milk, then there is a very, very high chance that your child may develop type 1 diabetes, which has been proved in international medical journals. Early introduction of cow's milk, protein, and early exposure to gluten are probably the causes of development of type 1 diabetes. If you look at this line, early introduction of cow's milk and early exposure to gluten are implicated in the development of autoimmunity, and it has been suggested that this is the result of the leakiness of the immature gut to protein antigens. So probably it causes this autoimmunity causes type 1 diabetes. This has been proven in this Nelson's textbook of pediatrics. You can read this book from your library or wherever you want. And let's move forward. 4 landmark trials showed a linkage of milk and type 1 diabetes. These are the 4 landmark trials. They have proved this is one of the new NEJM I have told you, 1992 proved milk is the cause of type 1 diabetes. American Academy of Pediatrics 1994 issue done in the USA has proved that milk is the cause of diabetes. Diabetes Journal again in 1999 in Finland proved that type 1 diabetes is due to milk, and then the China study also proved done in 2005 that milk is the sole cause of type 1 diabetes. If you look at the study, that Finland, which has the highest milk consumption, also has the world's highest per capita rate of insulin-dependent diabetes, that is type 1 diabetes. This has been proved by Diabetes Care Journal 1999. Finland, which has the highest milk consumption, also has the world's highest per capita rate of insulin-dependent diabetes. type 1 patients. So Finland has maximum number of milk production and milk use, and also they have highest number of type 1 diabetes patient in Finland are the number one. Maximum number of patients of type 1 diabetes is in Finland. The Journal of Cancer Causes Control 2005 issue proved that high intake of milk is associated with low levels of vitamin D, which in turn causes increased risk of developing advanced prostate cancer. Milk and the prostate cancer. And they say that the suppression of circulating 125 hydroxyvitamin D levels by calcium intake from milk could explain why higher calcium and milk intake appears to increased risk of advanced prostate cancer. So they have proved it, that this is the probable cause of type 1 prostate cancer, that milk consumption is being linked to prostate cancer. The Journal of Breast Care announced in 2010 that milk is a risk factor for development of breast cancer. Consumption of cow's milk and the possible risk of breast cancer. High consumption of cow's milk was a risk factor for the development of breast cancer. My God. American ex-president Bill Clinton had to undergo 3 heart surgeries from 2004 to 2010, but he cured himself of heart disease by shifting to variousTriorigin food consciousness, which is called as whole food plant-based diet. Bill Clinton had a quadruple coronary artery bypass surgery in September 6, 2004, and then he had an emergency lung surgery again in March 10, 2005, and then again a double angioplasty was done in February 2010. And if you look in between 2004 to 2010, you will see that Bill Clinton was very fatty and very dull looking. But after 2011, Bill Clinton has changed a lot. Now he is very slim, trim, and very energetic. And let us look at Bill Clinton, that what he has to say about our variousTriorigin food consciousness, also known as the whole food plant-based diet. Let's see. Interview of Mr. Bill Clinton.
But I did it for a different reason. I mean, I wanted to lose a little weight, but I did it for a different reason. I mean, I wanted to lose a little weight, but I didn't dream this would happen. I did it because after I had this stent put in, I realized that even though it happens quite often that after you have bypasses, you lose the veins because they're thinner and weaker than arteries. The truth is that it clogged up, which means that the cholesterol was still causing buildup in my vein that was part of my bypass. And thank God I could take the stents. I don't want it to happen again. So I did all this research, and I saw that 82% of the people since 1986 who have gone on a plant-based, no dairy, no meat of any kind, no chicken, turkey. I eat very little fish. Once in a while I'll have a little fish, not often. If you can do it, 82% of the people who've done that have begun to heal themselves. Their arterial blockage cleans up. The calcium deposit around their heart breaks up. This movement has been led by a doctor named Caldwell Esselstyn at the Cleveland Clinic, Dean Ornish, whom you know, in California, the doctors Campbell, father and son, who wrote the China study, and a handful of others. But we now have 25 years of evidence. And so I thought, well, since I need to lose a little weight for Chelsea's wedding, I'll become part of this experiment. I'll see if I can be one of those that can have a self-clearing mechanism. We'll see.
I hope you're healthy for many years and get to see grandchildren for many years
Me
to
too.
come.
That's really the big deal. You know, Hillary and I, we're happy. We love our son-in-law and we admire him, but we'd like to be around. If there's grandkids, we want to be there to do our part.
Mr. President, good luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for what you're doing.
This was the interview of Mr. Bill Clinton, and you can see even Bill Clinton is following the smile triogen food consciousness. And these days, you see, he's so young looking and so energetic and free from heart disease. Although he had 3 heart surgeries, he is totally free of any heart disease. Let us study some journals on homo foods. The study published in Diabetes Care Journal 2008 states that glycemic index of the fresh and the raw fruits and vegetables are much lower than any kind of food, especially the processed food made of the same vegetable, fruits, or the food from animal source, which means more you eat processed and refined homo foods, more chances that you will become diabetic. This has been proved by Diabetes Care Journal. Glycemic index of neutral food is much lower than that of homo or the hetero foods. A study which was been published in the international, with the name of the study was International Tables of Glycemic Index and the Glycemic Load Values 2008. The study published in Diabetes Care Journal states that glycemic index of the fresh and the raw fruits and vegetables are much lower than any kind of food, especially the processed food made of the same vegetable, fruits, or the food from the animal source. You can go and look into the study and you will come to know that homo foods have a very high incidence of sugar, have a very high glycemic index, so there are more chances that you will get sugar. Journal of Food Chemistry proved that jaggery, which grows naturally in the nature, has a lot of antioxidants and cytoprotective activity and contains many trace elements. Jaggery, the good. But white sugar, which is refined food, is devoid of all the above benefits. So jaggery is neutral, table sugar is homo, and high refined sugar has deficiency of chromium, manganese, cobalt, zinc, and magnesium, which jaggery has. And jaggery has, this Journal of Food Chemistry has proved that jaggery has a lot of cytoprotective and antioxidant role in the body. So this jaggery contains a lot of minerals on its outer shell, which refined sugar is devoid of. So this jaggery gives us many minerals. So we should take jaggery rather than sugar. In 2015, Indian government banned Maggi for sale in India because of the toxic amounts of lead and monosodium glutamate in the Maggi. Maggi under regulatory scanner for lead, monosodium glutamate beyond permissible limit, and Maggi was banned in India. But again, due to political intervention of these industrial people, which are very, very rich, Nestle is one of the richest company, Maggi is again back into the market, which is not at all good. So I don't recommend, because of that controversy, you should eat natural homemade noodles of your own wheat flour and eat them fresh always. You can look at this report on internet in the Times of India, it is there. So this is Maggie is which food? Maggie is homo food. So it should not be eaten because it contains a lot of chemicals. In 2006, all cold drinks like Pepsi, Coke were banned in India due to toxic levels of pesticides found in their random samples. India bans soft drinks in pesticides raw. But again, due to big influence of these rich industries, today, again, Coca-Cola and Pepsi are back in India. Still, they are homo foods and contain a lot of chemicals, so they should not be taken. Rather, you should go for some lemon water, lemon soda, or maybe lemon fresh juices, which are neutral foods and should be consumed more and more. Let us study the neutral foods. Study published in the Diabetes Care Journal 2008 states that the glycemic index of the fresh and the raw fruits and the vegetables is much lower than any kind of food, especially the processed food made of the same vegetable fruits, or the food from the animal source. So the fresh vegetables and the fresh vegetables and even the fruits which you think are sweeter have got a very less glycemic index compared to the processed vegetables or processed foods or processed fruits or processed animal products. Their glycemic index is very high. It has been proved by International Medical Journal of Diabetes, and you can look at that article which I have shown you, and you will find that even the sweetest fruit has got less glycemic index than animal foods or processed foods. So you should eat these neutral foods, no matter it's banana or apple or some watermelon. They all are very low in glycemic index. And for this, if you want to know, I have a video in my YouTube channel of Dr. Pawan Madhavan. Just go there. And I have released a video where I have proved that eating of fruits more fruits will cure your diabetes. You can look at that video, that how only eating fruits can cure your diabetes. Current atherosclerosis reports 2010 demonstrated that the time of cooking is directly proportional to the increase in glycemic index of food items, resulting in a lot of burden on the blood glucose level, making a person more prone to diabetes. So that is why in Triogen Food Consciousness, now this journal is telling that if you cook the food more, its glycemic index will increase. So I have recommended in my Smile Triogen Food Consciousness that either you take natural plants or fruits and vegetables raw, or if you want, you cook them, but you cook them mildly. Like you can steam them for half an hour or you can boil them for half an hour, but never ever fry them, because frying increases their glycemic index level. Okay. Thousands of studies have proven that a whole food plant-based diet is very effective in reversal of lifestyle diseases. And you know, this meta-analysis, the neutral food is full of life. Impact of consumption of vegetables, fruits, grains, and high glycemic index foods on aggressive prostate cancer risk. In summary, this moderate-sized case-control study detected inverse association between numerous vegetables and fruits and prostate cancer, as well as a positive association for a handful of high glycemic index foods. So if you are eating more and more vegetables and fruits, your prostate cancer will decrease. But if you are eating high glycemic processed foods, your prostate cancer will increase. Since the intake of the vegetables and fruits may be highly correlated, the former may reflect the overall benefits of a heavily plant-based diet. These results suggest that a diet higher in intakes of certain vegetables and fruits and lower in high glycemic index processed foods may lower the risk of developing a more aggressive prostate cancer. So eat more vegetables and fruits and you will decrease your risk of developing prostate cancer. It's been proved in the Journal of Nutrition and Cancer, which is great. Let us study the Triogen model of lifestyle diseases. There are 4 types of lifestyle diseases, and these 4 diseases these are the most dangerous of diseases, and these can all be cured just by following Smile Triogen Food Consciousness. Cancer becomes neutral, hypertension and heart disease become hetero, diabetes becomes homo, autoimmune disease becomes neutral. Hypertension and heart disease becomes hetero as they can end our life in seconds. Diabetes being a chronic disease and slow killer becomes homo. Autoimmune disease are disease of self-recognition. Uh, Also, it is the most prevalent diseases, so it takes the position neutral. Our neutral has got the maximum number, and autoimmune disease are a disease of self-recognition confusion, and they are more prevalent in the body. They are most prevalent in the body. Maximum number of disease in the world is autoimmune disease, and they are self-immune system confusion. Immune system is neutral, so autoimmune disease becomes neutral in this Trojan model of lifestyle diseases. And cancer has the destroying instinct. Cancer has the destroying instinct to make everything zero. So cancer becomes neutral in this Trojan model of lifestyle disease, and all these four can be cured by Trojan food consciousness. Trojan model of different types of neutral foods. So let us study the Trojan model of different types of neutral foods. Water becomes neutral, fruits becomes hetero, cereals becomes neutral, and the vegetable, lentils, and nuts becomes homo. How? Fruits clean the body, so hetero. Fruits fruits are full of antioxidant, which causes washout from the body. So fruits become hetero. Vegetable, lentils, and nuts build the body, so they are homo. Cereals like wheat, rice, and barley, corns, etc. provide continuous source of energy to the body, so they become neutral. Water provides a medium for all of them, all of the above three, so it becomes neutral. So in Trojan food consciousness, remember, I am going to talk about 6 key food consciousness and Trojan food consciousness right now I am talking about. Trojan is the fundamental energy out of which the neutral force then takes the shape of 6 key foods. And Trojan food consciousness is total prevention from all diseases, and 6 key food consciousness is the cure of any disease which has developed in the body. So Trojan food consciousness is made of 4 powers, and it is total prevention from any diseases. And once this neutral force then evolves into 6 key forces, and these 6 key forces takes the 6 key food consciousness and it becomes the cure of all the diseases. So if you have to say in nutshell that smile, Trojan food consciousness is the prevention from all disease. Then 6 key food consciousness is the cure of any disease which has already manifested in the body. And this part I will be proving in my next lectures how, and it will be very, very interesting. You all will love it. But first, fundamental tri-origin. First is fundamental is tri-origin that you have to understand. Tri-origin is the fundamental. Out of the tri-origin comes 6 key. and 6 key blossoms like a flower. That will be told to you in my next classes. So there are 4 types of diet in Smile Triorigin food consciousness. The neutro diet is the maintenance diet. The hetero diet is the elimination diet. The homo diet is the gluten-free maintenance diet, and rice diet is the neutro diet. How these are made, let us discuss it. The neutro diet is the maintenance diet, which is used in maximum patients and has minimal restrictions. Homo diet is used in fewer people and has few restrictions. Hetero diet is used in very, very fewer cases, very severe cases, and has many restrictions. The neutro diet is used in last stage rarer cases and has severe restrictions applied. So there are very less restrictions here, and most highest restrictions here. Very less severe disease, mild severe disease, moderate severe disease, and very, very severe disease. So a reverse order of this diet will be, if suppose we have 100 patients of some diseases, lifestyle diseases, 80 people will be cured by this diet. Rest 20, 12 will be cured by this diet. So we are left with 8 patients. 5 will be cured by this diet, and 2 will be which are very rare and last stage cases will be cured by this diet. What are these diets? Let's look at them. The diet used most commonly and in most diseases condition will be the neutro diet. This diet is used to treat 90% of the diseases. This diet is also recommended for healthy people to eat. It has very less restrictions. Maintenance diet is the neutro diet. What is that diet? The diet is, this diet is 100% curable for type 2 diabetes. Which diabetes? Only type 2. It is proven. I have proved it. I will be showing to you in my next seminars. Neutro diet, the maintenance diet. This is the WFPB diet. This diet says only eat that item which grows in the nature and that also in the natural way. Do not use any kind of oil in the food. Stop alcohol and smoking completely. Stop egg, non-veg completely. Stop all milk products like milk, curd, lassi, cheese, chaach, desi ghee, tea, milk, sweets, ice cream, milk, butter. All the milk products should be stopped. Do not eat any packed food. And these are the rules which you should follow in the maintenance diet. And what thing you should do in the morning? In the morning, daily eat 3 to 4 types of fruits. Maybe up to 1 kg of fruits should be taken in the morning. Why? Because fruits are very high in antioxidants. So first thing which you should put in the morning in your mouth is fruits. 1 kg of fruits in the morning, lunch. Finish eating about 400 grams of raw vegetables, including tomato and cucumber. Plus, then have your routine lunch, but that should be 0 oil. Then finish in the night. What you do? Always in the night, dinner should be finished by 8 p.m. before that, and finish eating about 400 grams of 3 to 4 types of raw vegetables plus 100 grams of sprouts. Then you have your routine dinner, but it should be without oil. No matter how much wheat chapatis or rice you want to eat, how much dal, how much rajma, how much chole you want to eat, or breads you want to eat, but it should be 0 oil and no animal product should be taken. No, not at all any animal product. Snacks, whenever you want, evening snacks should be 10 to 15 almonds, coconut water, and then sprouts. This can be taken in the evening. The people who are on insulin for diabetes, they should take 100 grams of Green Garden Delight. This is a chutney, which is this one. Recipe for Garden Green Delight, 100 grams. How to make it is, spinach leaves, take spinach leaves 30 gram, take betel leaves 5 gram, take coconut 10 gram, take 5 raisins, 5 almonds, curry leaves, tulsi leaves, coriander leaves 10 gram, tulsi leaves 10 gram, and curry leaves 10 gram, mint leaves 10 gram, and lemon juice add lemon juice, and then mix them in a blender. It will make a Green Garden Delight blend that can be put on your fruits and your uh, salads, and it is becomes very tasty. And if you eat 100 grams, your insulin will stop if you have type 2 diabetes. This has been proven by me. You can come to my clinic and I will show you. I have proven it in hundreds of patients. Foods which you should avoid are: stop consuming all kind of animal food, including milk and milk products. Stop consuming all packed food, including the biscuits, rusk, jam, bread, and the chips. Stop consuming those tea and coffee. You can consume, you can little consume, like without milk. Tea and coffee can be consumed in Trigen food consciousness, because they are still, tea and coffee both are plants, but they should be taken without milk. And there is a special tea which is called as the Hunza tea, which has been taken by the Kashmiri people, the people of the Hunza Valley. And because this is called as kawa, and they take this kawa a lot, and they live more than 120 years. So you can also try this Hunza tea. But I don't restrict, I don't say that you don't take tea and coffee at all, but rather I say tea and coffee is okay in little quantities if taken without milk. Rather consume tea and coffee. Consume tea and coffee without milk. Without milk. Consume tea and coffee without milk. If you want to take Hunza tea, this is the recipe of the Hunza tea. There are 12 mint leaves. Take 12 mint leaves, 8 basil leaves, 4 green cardamoms, 2 grams of cinnamon, 20 gram ginger, 20 grams of jaggery, and add them in 4 cups of water in a tea pan. Add all the ingredients after a boil and cook it, simmer for 10 minutes. And then add that into cup and add a dash of lemon juice and serve hot. So this is the recipe for Hunza Kawa, which gives you long life, right? So this is the maintenance diet, which can be followed for healthy living. For healthy living, if you want yourself to not get any disease, then you should follow this life, this diet plus. What you should do is actually to prevent yourself from all the diseases, you should daily be on a maintenance diet to prevent all disease. Follow maintenance neutral diet and follow maintenance neutral diet and take sunshine for 1 hour in the noon period when sun is at the top. Now, what is there? If why you should do this? You can follow. You can go to my YouTube channel, and there is one study which is being there on the internet. You can follow that actually, and if you want more details about the maintenance diet, and then you can go to YouTube channel of Dr. Pawan Vadhavan. You can go to YouTube where Dr. Pawan is there, and you can go to my videos. So if you see here carefully, this is my YouTube channel, and this is the Pawan Vadhavan, where I have many videos on my YouTube channel. And you can go to this video called as Practical Application of Smile Triogen Food Consciousness. And then you can find very useful tips about the sunlight. This is a very detailed video which I have given my verdict on what are the practical uses of Smile Triogen Food Consciousness part 1 and part 2. So these are very useful videos, and also there are many other videos which are very, very useful on Facebook, on YouTube, and you can all look into that and enjoy my knowledge. So guys, so this is about the maintenance diet, which is very clear to you, all of you. Then we have is this is the diet chart. I have already told you very clearly. Means morning you take fruits, 1 kg of different fruits. Then in the lunch and the dinner, first take rainbow colored vegetable salad. Don't remove the outer coverings. No salt or very little rock salt or green salt should be added. Then plate 2 should contains 200 grams of sprouts. In the lunch, this is the plate 1. This is the plate 2. And this is how to make green garden delight. All spinach, pan, coconut, kishmish, almonds, curry leaves, tulsi leaves, dhania 10 gram, mint leaves 10 gram. Finally chop all the ingredients including dry fruits, add lemon juice and mix them well. This stops insulin and cures BP also. This is a 100% cure of any hypertension. Anybody BP more than 160, this leaves are full of nitrous oxides, and they will cure you of your hypertension. This nitrous oxide, I will be telling you in my 6 key food consciousness how it cures the BP. In the evening, you should take 100 grams of snacks at 11:30 a.m. and at the 5:30 p.m. you can take snacks in the form of citrus fruits, dry fruits, plus hunza tea, the kava. This is hunza tea, very tasty, and these are dry fruits. Hunza tea, I have given you the recipe already. You can also read this again, full. Right? Now, what is the homo diet? Homo diet is the gluten-free, means you have to stop wheat, bran, rye, barley, and oats. So some people have got a lot of abdominal discomfort, like irritable bowel syndrome, and they have little allergy to gluten also. Why gluten is bad for our health is again been explained by me in my video, which is this video, the practical application of Smile Triogen Food Consciousness. It is there on my YouTube channel. So, but in some cases, what happens, the homo diet is the gluten-free maintenance diet. That is above mentioned maintenance diet, the above which I mentioned, the maintenance diet which is followed this one, this maintenance diet, right? This maintenance diet, plus you go remove gluten also from your diets. Gluten means you remove wheat, bran, rye, barley, and oats. And why you remove them is given in my next lecture, which you can look. But if you have a lot of gas problem and irritable bowel syndrome, and you have a lot of burping and passing of farts, then you can use the homo diet. It is used in people with complex functional bowel issues and a lot of gas formation. And it used only in few patients, so it becomes homo. Homo diet is maintenance diet plus gluten-free diet for gastric troubles. Then If you have the hetero diet is the elimination diet, which is used in severe allergy cases and autoimmune problems. If you have severe allergies and severe autoimmune problems like rheum, especially the diet elimination diet is 100% cure of rheumatoid arthritis. This diet is used by world famous physician Dr. John McDougall, who has cured thousands of patients of allergy and rheumatoid arthritis with the elimination diet. What is elimination diet is? Elimination diet says that there are 20 things in the world to which nobody is allergic. Otherwise, some people are allergic to tomatoes, somebody is allergic to wheat, somebody is allergic to gluten, somebody is allergic to lemon, somebody is allergic to cucumber, but 20 things are there to whom nobody is allergic. So what you do, if you have a lot of autoimmune problem and the allergy problem, you first start this diet. Like this diet is actually maintenance diet, means the food, multi-origin food consciousness, that is plant-based diet, no kind of animal product, but out of the plants, only 20 things you can eat for 1 week. For 1 week, what you do, you eat those 20 things and then start rest of the foods. Like what you do first, like you can eat only starches. All the food which is to be eaten here should be boiled food, boiled and cooked food, means they should be steamed or boiled, but not fried. And then what you can eat is brown rice or white rice, sweet potatoes, winter squash, which is acorn, butternut, pumpkins, etc. And you can eat taro, but it should be cooked. And in the vegetables, you can eat non-starchy green and yellow vegetables, which should be all cooked. And it includes asparagus, artichoke, beets, beet greens, celery, chard, kale, lettuce, spinach, string beans, and the summer squash. And almost all other non-starchy yellow, orange, red, green, and purple vegetables are allowed, which are not mentioned here. And they should be eaten all cooked. But you should avoid, what you should not eat in vegetables is avoid onions, do not eat green pepper, do not eat cucumber, do not eat radish, especially when raw, because if eaten raw, vegetables can be very troublesome for the stomach, causing indigestion. So fruits, if you want to eat fruits also, you should steam the fruits, you should cook the fruits. And what are the fruits which can be taken are apricots, bananas, berries, cherries, papaya, peaches, plums. Avoid do not eat any citrus fruits, including oranges, grapefruits, tangerines, lemons, limes, etc. should not be eaten. And also tomatoes should not be eaten in this elimination diet. What you should do, condiments which you can take in this diet are only salt and sugar. Only common table salt and table sugar are allowed, if not restricted for other health reasons. This means no salad dressings, no mustard, no lemon juice, no vinegar, no pepper or other condiments. And in drinking beverages, what you can drink is only water. So after you have followed this 1 week diet, after 1 week of being strictly on this new diet, food cost problems should be ending and the diet should be filling. And what will happen after 1 week of being strictly on the new diet, food cost problems should be ending and the dieter should be feeling much improved. If this is the case, then the dieter, who is the patient, that the patient can begin adding other foods, those not listed above, back to his or her diet, but only one at a time, in order to determine if any of these caused any unpleasant reactions. Like for example, but these foods which we are going to add back into our diet should be one by one, like and they should follow basic Trojan food model, that there should not be any animal product. Now, if you want to take lemons, after following this elimination diet for 1 week, you add lemon into your foods and take a lot of lemons for 2 to 3 days. If your problems of autoimmune dermatitis, autoimmune joint pains, or some kind of myositis appears back, then you should not take that lemon for lifelong. But if it is not coming in the 2 days, which means lemon is okay and you can take daily, then you add tomatoes into your diet. If you eat a lot of tomatoes for 2 to 3 days, if you become allergic to tomatoes, then stop tomatoes for whole life. Otherwise, keep continuing taking tomatoes for whole life. But remember, suppose you stopped all the foods, you are on the elimination diet for 1 week. After 1 week, if you start taking tomatoes and you develop allergy, then what you do, you start this elimination diet which is there for 1 week. Means stop all the things again and just live on those 20 things, and again start with the new thing. Like first you try tomatoes, now you try lemons, and if you again become allergic to lemons, like you develop some joint pains after taking lemons, stop lemons for whole life. And what you should do, you should then wait for 1 week, again follow this elimination diet, only eat these 20 things for 1 week and then add next item. So this should be very clear. So the thing is, for testing purposes, each new food should be eaten in large amounts 3 times a day for 2 days. If the food does not cause a reaction, then the dietitian can conclude that this food is not a troublemaker. Most reactions occur within a few hours, but some may not show up for several days. Each food must be tested individually. Do not introduce 2 new foods at once. When there is a reaction to a specific food, the dietitian must wait for 4 to 7 days before testing the next item. This interval gives the time required to clear the intestines and to rest the system from that allergy causing food. The foods added back during the elimination diet should not be from animal products of any kind or from vegetable oils for general health reasons. No one should follow a diet more liberal than the basic, not McDougall, basic, uh, basic. No one should follow a diet more liberal than the basic STFC, the Smile Triorigin Food Consciousness STFC diet, which is the maintenance diet. No one should follow a diet more liberal than the basic STFC diet, right? So this is the fundamental. And in elimination diet, patient eats only 20 types of food for whom allergy is not reported all over the world. The patient slowly introduces other things in small quantities after following elimination diet strictly for 21 days. This technique is used in modern medicine via injections of allergens given in very minute doses, the immune therapy of modern medicine. So you don't require that immune therapy. You just follow elimination diet, simple, and you will get cured of most allergies and autoimmune disease. Hetero diet is used in very less people. The neutro diet is used for patients who are nearly dead or going to die soon. This diet is the rice diet of Dr. Walter Kampner, who has cured thousands of patients of malignant hypertension and chronic kidney disease. In this diet, patients just live on boiled rice, fruits, and water. So you can eat boiled rice. You can eat boiled rice, fruits, then vegetables, but with no salt at all. No condiments, right? So what you are going to eat is now in the rice diet is you are going to eat boiled rice, fruits, vegetables with no salt and no condiments, and drink only water. If you just, it is like fasting, but having food. So if you have cancer, if you have last stage cancer, if you have chronic kidney disease, stage 4, stage 5, if your BP is 240, 250, and you have no chance to live, then you should follow this diet. This diet with extreme restrictions will be required very, very rarely, but it will cure those last stage diseases. So Nuto diet, the rice diet of Dr. Walter Kempner for nearly dead. Fruits plus vegetables without water, without condiments, without salt. Fruits and vegetables without salt, without condiments, plus boiled rice plus water. And this will cure the last stage diseases. This was the person, Dr. Walter Kempner, who cured many dead patients, nearly dead patients. These are the 12 items which should be daily eaten when you are on STFC diet. This is the daily dozen by Dr. Michael Greger, which has been recommended in TFC diet. This is, you should take 3 servings, 3 small katoris, 3 small bowls of beans daily. Eat 1 bowl of beans, small bowl, like 1 katori, 1 small katori or 1 small bowl of berries daily. Eat three bowls of fruits daily. Eat cruciferous vegetables like broccoli or cabbage or cauliflower, one bowl. Eat green leafy vegetables, 2 bowls. Eat other vegetables, 2 bowls. Eat flax seeds. Why flax seeds are so important? That you should take 1 teaspoonful daily of flax seeds. You should take 1 bowl of nuts daily, mixed nuts. You should take some spices like pepper, oregano, then guinea pepper, then turmeric, and then ginger, and then turmeric, ginger, and what are the spices like cloves are there, then cardamoms are there, and dalchini, which is called a cinnamon. All these kinds of spices which are available in your kitchen, you should add to your daily dals and vegetables. Always eat whole grains like whole wheat, whole rye, whole barley, whole and brown rice is 110 times more better than white rice. And take daily 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cups of water and do 1 hour of exercise daily. This is the daily dozen of TFC diet. If somebody is following this daily dozen, he will live for more than 100 years at any cost. So the thing is, now this TFC is, remember one thing, that TriOrigin food consciousness is to prevent all diseases. We have TFC diet. So if you want to prevent all diseases, you follow TriOrigin food consciousness. And if you want to cure a disease which you have, you will follow 60 food consciousness, which will be explained to you tomorrow or day after tomorrow. And hopefully this will give you a good insight into the foods. And thank you guys. Thank you so much for joining me in this TriOrigin food consciousness, and hope all of you are happy right now and smiling. Thanks for joining me. See you in my next meeting.